Hi everybody.
Hi.
So today's video is a bit of a sit-down review video of what we thought of the mazes at Alton Towers Scarefest this year.
There will be some slight spoilers, not in terms of video, we didn't vlog while we're inside the maze, but there may be spoilers from us trying to give our opinion. So just be wary of that if you don't want spoilers.
Yeah, it's probably best to avoid this video if you're going to Scarefest and you don't want spoilers for the mazes.
But then again, if you're like me, you might just want an idea of what it's like if you're a bit nervous.
Yeah, Stevie was really nervous before we went in.
So bad.
So I think if you like Stevie and that you were really nervous, maybe this kind of video would be helpful for you. Fingers crossed anyway. Hopefully somebody out there finds it useful at least. So without further ado, I think we'll kick off by talking about, we might as well talk about the mazes in the order that we did them. Probably easier to remember that way. So we started off with Subspecies, which is rated as the scariest maze of all of them.
And it lived up to it, 100%. For me anyway. I thought it was terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, it was, to be honest, for large parts of it, you're just almost in complete darkness. It's just completely pitch black and you almost have to kind of feel your way around the maze. It's kind of apparently there was a rope on the wall to grab onto, but I never found this.
I found Rich. I grabbed hold to Rich for like dear life. Poor lad. He like had to deal with me screaming pretty much all the way through that maze. And Alan thought like loads of people were screaming and it was just me the entire maze. It was just me and everyone could hear me.
I thought I could hear screams from all over the maze, but no, it was just my fiance over here. So I was off separate somewhere. Yeah,
he got dragged away. Well, I sacrificed him, he went instead of me. I pushed him through the door. But we don't talk about that.
No. So like you line up kind of, the maze itself is set in the actual tower's ruins themselves. You enter where you would normally go in through the conservatory if you were going to go for a walk inside the towers. And then you kind of zigzag around a little bit and you queue up outside, you're batched up into groups of about 15 people, something like that.
Might have been less than that, 10 to 15.
Yeah, it's around that kind of number. And then they send you in and you're lined up against this wall, aren't you?
And then screamed at.
Yeah, and then suddenly like they'll start like telling you to move that way, but then they may, and to be honest probably will in most cases, grab some members of the group and push them off down through different doors and split the groups up. You
could end up completely on your own, so be prepared for that. I think Lucy was on her own for quite a lot of the maze.
I was on my own for a little bit.
Yeah.
I got split off from the group right at the start.
I am glad I sacrificed you because I couldn't have dealt with that. I would have freaked out.
That's straight. First Stevie's first ever scare maze. It's been like 2 minutes in, she's got someone trying to shove her down into a separate passageway.
It's like this door that wasn't a door opened and someone grabbed me by my shoulders and tried to pull me through it. And I screamed no. I grabbed onto Rich and I pushed Alan through the door. Sorry. But he's braver than me.
Thanks to that. But yeah, to be honest, I was only on my own for maybe 30 seconds or so, because I kind of went around a bit of a zigzag and then there was a lad and a girl behind me that also got pushed through a different separate door, and our kind of zigzags met up with each other, and then I could hear this girl like screaming at the guy that she was with like, why have you brought me in here? And in the end she just ended up like, I had my bag on over my shoulder and she ended up just grabbing onto my bag all the way through so she couldn't get separated from the group anymore.
It was pretty terrifying. That was my worst maze. Honestly, that's the only maze at Scarefest I wouldn't do again, or I don't plan on doing again. It's not to say it's a bad maze. I think it's a fantastic maze if you're brave. But I could feel my heart pumping through my chest. I was shaking for about 15 minutes after I got out. It was just a bit too much for me, and I don't think it was the scares. I think it was the fact that I had no idea where I was, where to go, or where anyone else was apart from Rich.
Yeah, so it's definitely not one for you if you're kind of afraid of the dark, because at as I said earlier, that the majority of the maze you're in almost complete darkness, trying to like having to feel your way around.
But like, I never thought I was afraid of the dark ever, and I'm not. But that still freaked me out.
But you are in there.
Yeah, but I was the same even before all the Halloween stuff and all the theming at Fort Park in the Walking Dead ride, when you have to walk through that dark tunnel. I was terrified. Even though there was no scare actors, there was nothing, I had a feeling that someone was going to get me. And I don't know, I can't explain it, but that is what freaks me out, and I don't, to the point where I don't like it.
But she survived anyway.
I did.
She's still here, she lived to tell the tale, and she was very shaky when we came out at the end.
I was nearly in tears.
The finale of the maze, you come out of the towers themselves, and you go into the final bit of the maze is made out of shipping containers, which you can see the outside of those outside the towers. And we did warn you that there may be spoilers, but the very last end of the maze, you kind of go in and there's like a window in front of you, and you can see there's like a mutant guy in there who's holding a chainsaw, and he's got like a weird mask on, and then he starts the chainsaw up, and the only way out of the maze is to walk past him. You have to go through, and like there's like, you know, like a polystyrene flap door that you walk through. You have to walk through that, and that is the only way to get out of the maze, is to walk past the guy with the chainsaw, who then he like lunges towards you with the chainsaw and starts like as if he's going to chase you.
Yeah.
So that, and you'll see most people will come running out of the maze at the end.
Just beware as well when you actually leave the maze. There is everyone can see you basically. It's open view into anyone walking past the towers, which isn't the bit that bothered me because I was freaking out. I didn't care. But there'll be a member of staff outside the last shipping container as you come out. I nearly rugby tackled him trying to run out. So just be worried that you might take someone down if you like me.
Please don't rugby tackle the security staff.
Yeah, luckily he stepped back and he was very understanding, but yeah. Just beware there's people outside.
So that was the subspecies.
The
subspecies. It's like the nemesis. Have you been on the nemesis? And the next one that we did was right next to subspecies. So
I didn't even get a break. It was like a 2-minute walk.
It was back to back. We went into the Altonville mine tours, and you are. These mazes are. This maze is situated round the back of the tower's ruins. So you go in, kind of at the top of X sector, round where the fried chicken, the fake KFC places.
Yeah, it's a little like fenced off path.
Yeah, the path that goes round there, and you go in under a tunnel. Into the inner walls of the tower's ruins, and then you're lined up. This maze has a bag drop. Yeah, you're not allowed to take bags in with you. So we dropped our bags off, and then you get lined up against a wall in groups. Which I think our group was about 10 people. Something like that.
It weren't a massive group.
And they give the person at the front, the person at the back, and somebody in the middle a hard hat with a torch.
Flashlight.
Yeah, a torch on the helmet, and then you kind of introduced. You told a little bit of a kind of like the safety. Yeah, they walk you around the corner, don't they?
Yeah, and then a guy will kind of introduce you to the theming a bit, and the actor was brilliant. It was very in character, very believable. I thought all the actors actually all night were brilliant.
The actors were brilliant throughout.
And I'm not an actor person, they freak me out a bit, but they were amazing. But yeah, they give you a bit of a backstory before leading you into the actual mines. It's a very good backstory.
Yeah.
A very bizarre backstory.
Yeah, it's like basically it's like a kind of redneck family, like also a lot of like comedy accents kind of thing going on, like, oh, you ain't going in these mines kind of thing. Going on, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
My redneck accent's not very good. But yeah, you go in there, and then they introduce you to this legend of the skin snatchers that want to be beautiful like those city folk.
Such pretty skin.
And then they're kind of like, as you go into the maze, you're lined up. So that there's not so much. There were some jump scares in this one, but this one it was more like kind of creepy with. with people in like fairly authentic costumes coming like really close up to you and then like stroking your face like, oh, you got real pretty skin, I wish I had pretty skin like you. It was
a tad creepy, but I enjoyed it. That's a maze I would do again because it wasn't as dark as the first maze. There's dark parts, but most of it's fairly lit.
Yeah, and it's well themed.
Yeah, the theming's brilliant, but I think that's the point where I decided, right, I'm more about the theming of scare mazes than I am about the pitch black, terrifying scare mazes. Because I definitely preferred that maze out of the two.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I probably preferred the Minotaurs to Subspecies as well. Right. I mean, to be honest, there were none of the mazes that I disliked. They were all good. But Subspecies, you were just kind of like, well, you couldn't run because you'd fall over. But you were just kind of like feeling your way around in the dark for the most part, and then someone would jump out at you.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that there wasn't much theming really because you couldn't see a thing at all the whole way through, apart from the very first room.
It was the Minotaurs where it was really well themed, and it did feel like you were in an old mine.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
As we said, I don't think there was anything particularly scary about that one.
Rich got very scared.
Yeah, they do. So having said that, there was one kind of jump scare, and Rich was right at the front of the group.
Yeah, he was the first person with the hard hat with the light.
Yeah, and there was one bit where you kind of walk around like a U-turn corner, and Rich got a jump scare there, and they really got him. He really screamed.
The thing is with that though, I think only the people at the front really get the jump scares, because the rest of the line, because you're all in a line all the time, hear the scare and they're prepared for it. And the fact that because Rich was at the front and he stopped and turned around and freaked out, it was like a domino effect, and everybody else stopped and freaked out and moved back of it. But everyone then knew that scare was coming. So I think they need to find a way. Well, I don't know why I'm saying this because I don't want more scares, but they need to find a way to scare the people in the middle and at the back a bit more.
Yeah, I think I found that a little bit with all of the scare mazes. Is that if you're kind of further back in the group, you see the scares coming a bit more.
Apart from Subspecies.
Yeah, well, Subspecies couldn't see anything in Subspecies.
That's just its own group.
Yeah.
Project 42.
Yeah, so the third maze that we did on the 3 maze ticket, we didn't mention earlier that the first 3 mazes that we're talking about are the ones that we did on the 3 maze package ticket that you can buy, which is £20 if you are not a Merlin annual pass holder, and £16 if you are a Merlin annual pass holder. But you must book that online to get the Merlin pass holder discount. I'd also recommend that you do book the 3 maze ticket, whether you're a Merlin pass holder or not. Book it in advance online. I know some dates have already started to sell out for the 3 maze ticket. Saturday the 20th of October, off the top of my head, is already sold out for the 3 maze ticket. So if you want one of those on Saturday the 20th of October, unfortunately, no, it's already sold out.
Can't you buy maze tickets on the night as well at the park?
Yes, so you can also buy individual maze tickets from guest services when you arrive in the park. They do sell out quickly, so I'd recommend again that you, as soon as you get in the park, go straight to guest services. Didn't
you say something about a phone scan point as well?
Yeah, on the entrance to each maze you'll see a QR code, you know, the square barcode things. You scan those with your phone and it will direct you to a page on your phone where you can buy a single shot entry like into the maze.
Entry,
yeah, and then that'll give you a barcode on your phone that they can scan, and that gets you access to one maze. But again, that they will sell out on the day, so just make sure that if you've got an ambition to do any scare mazes at Alton Towers, make sure you buy your scare maze tickets either in advance if you're going to do the 3 maze ticket, or on the day. Just as soon as you get into the park, just get them bought. Either go to guest services or go up to the entrance of the mazes, scan them on your phone, and then put your card details in and get them bought that way.
Fountain of information.
Absolutely. So the as we were saying, the third maze that we did was Project 42.
My favourite. I loved Project 42, but I did get scared.
It was probably my favourite maze as well, I think.
I wouldn't have thought that because it wasn't as scary, I don't think, in general, overall.
Yeah, although again, I think I'm probably fairly similar to you in that I enjoy the theming of the mazes more than. I mean, a jump scare is a jump scare. For the most part, it's somebody like jumping out at you and going rah, or like waving a knife at you or something. And
I find it scary. You just laugh.
Yeah,
like, there's something wrong with you.
it just makes me laugh. So that the jump scares don't really get me. It's like
they get me.
Like is it scary?
Scoopy.
Scoopy. I can't speak English anymore, apparently.
He is on the beer, so that could be why.
This is my first one.
Lightweight,
It's Friday night when we're recording this, by the way. We're going to Thorpe Park tomorrow, so
we are.
Well, as you're watching this video, assuming you watch it when we put it out tomorrow night, we'll be at Thorpe Park at Friday night. Getting Stevie through more mazes.
I wasn't going to go, it was meant to be like a lad's day, but I'm a massive fan of The Walking Dead, and I'll be really gutted. As scared as I am, I'll be really gutted if I missed out on something Walking Dead themed.
I think because Thorpe Park are making a big thing about it being the year of The Walking Dead this year, so that's not necessarily to mean that it's going to go away next year, no more Walking Dead at Thorpe Park, but there's always that risk that they've only paid for the licensing deal for this year, for example. Then next year there's no more Walking Dead in the park. So
and I would be gutted if I never got to experience the whole Walking Dead theming on a proper like Halloween theme night.
Definitely.
I've been on the ride, but there was no actors at the time. There was no special events on, and I want to see the rest because it's a lot of Walking Dead stuff.
Yeah,
there's 2 mazes, the ride. I'm sure there's something else as well.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. There's like a scare zone as well with walkers in. I'm not sure. I might be. I to be honest, I haven't really looked into Fright Nights that much because I kind of want it to be a surprise for me when we go there.
I've looked into it a little bit just to prepare myself for the kind of night we're gonna have, because I'm very nervous about this kind of thing. But by the looks of it, Thorpe Park's more about the theming. It's similar to what I've seen on Universal Halloween Horror Night videos.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I won't be too bad.
Hopefully.
Anyway, back to Project 42.
Yeah, this is the third time we've started talking about Project 42. We keep getting distracted. So it's located in the in and around the former Nemesis Subterra attraction. You enter the maze through the old entrance for Subterra, and even go through the old queue line. You go through. There's a little pre-show where you get shown a video explaining a little bit of a backstory. It's a pretty decent story in there, and then you go in, start working your way through the building that used to house the Subterra attraction, which actually has lights, so you can see where you're going. Yeah, for the most part, it's pretty well lit inside Project 42. I don't know. It's not like it's not bright. They've not got like floodlights on or anything. No, there's it's like spotlights here and there. I don't know if they are spotlights, but it's like bits of light here and there, so you can at least see your path where you're going, and there's strobe lighting as well in parts. Yeah, the bit there's a bit right at the end where the strobe lights are flashing, and then the scare actors will just appear in your face, and they're kind of are they soldiers or like security staff kind of thing? Yeah, that have been like infected. Yeah, they've been infected with the virus, and they're like attacking you, but they suddenly like appear, and then like obviously they're moving around in the strobe light in front of you as you're making your way out of the maze. But this was the maze where Stevie had a. To be honest, it was everybody's highlight of the day. It was just absolutely hilarious watching Stevie's reaction. Thanks, guys, so supportive. Lucy turned around and laughed at me, and you did absolutely nothing, just stood there laughing. Yeah, it was really funny. I was so scared. But like, in a good way. Like, go on, you tell them what happened. So again, we were just making our way through. It was about halfway through the maze, and one of the actors who we recognise because we've seen him in a few different characters as well. Who is really nice usually, and I really like him. I think he's awesome, but not on this night. Yeah, in the past we've seen him as a member of the Bjorn in the Wickerman queue, and we've also seen
policemen. Is it CBBs?
No, the Towers Traffic Patrol.
The Towers Traffic Patrol.
Yeah, but in this case, he was one of the scary infected soldier security people,
and he was very, very good at it.
Yeah, he was really good. Well,
he's laughing even thinking about it.
It just kind of completely blocked Stevie's path like this, and doing all the snarling that an infected monster would do.
I could not get past. There's no way for me to get past.
Stevie just started jumping up and down on the spot like this, and it was saying nasty words to him. So we apologise for Stevie saying nasty words.
I didn't mean it. I was just very scared. I'm very sorry. But that made my day a bit, because it made me scared, but then it made me laugh about it afterwards, and it was like a way to talk about it a bit calmer.
Yeah.
Because it was a bit more personal, if that makes sense. I don't know if personal is the right word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But that is what made me decide, right, I want to do more of these type of nights for mazes like that and for interactions like that.
Yeah, because definitely.
That was my favourite maze by far.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
My favourite as well. Enjoyed it. The theming was fantastic, and they've reused some of Nemesis Subterra. The room that the drop tower was in, we've got the Nemesis egg and stuff in the middle, and like science equipment around. You walk through there, and it's all really well themed. Overall, a really fantastic maze. It's new for this year, and they've done a really good job with it.
I hope it comes back next year, because I'm in love with it. Yeah. I adore it.
Fantastic. Well, our final maze that we went into was the Welcoming.
It was.
Which is the Bjorn and Wickerman themed maze, which is in the courtyard where there's normally picnic tables and stuff. Opposite Wickerman, you can go in and sit there and eat one of the chicken wraps from the nearby stall.
Well, not on this day.
Not today. And so this one, again, it was a really well themed maze. It's themed that you're going into a village of the Bjornen, kind of lulled into a false sense of security, in that they're all welcoming and the welcoming.
It's very friendly feel at first.
Yeah, they're all happy to see you, and then suddenly you get round a little bit. You go round a few corners, and they suddenly start talking about sacrificing you to please the Wicker Man. And to be honest, this was the least scary maze that we did. It wasn't helped by the fact that it was still daylight when we did it. We did it at 5:30, just as the maze opened. And the majority of this maze is under canvas rather than in an actual building. Yeah, and out in the open entirely. There's lots of decent special effects in there. There's a few like flamethrowers and stuff that were pretty cool. As I said, it's really, really well themed, and all the characters' outfits are absolutely fantastic. It just wasn't really scary for us, particularly in the daylight. Even
I didn't find it scary in the day. I'm not saying a lot because I'm a big wimp.
Yeah.
But it was probably the best themed maze. I'd say that. The theming was brilliant, and I think in the day it's more of a walk through in terms of getting an idea of the nature of the Bjornen and what they do, where they live, getting just like rounding the image up a bit more.
Yeah,
get a better picture in your head.
Just like a bit of backstory to the Wicker Man, really.
But I think if you do it at night, it may very well scare you. But we did it it was pretty much still broad daylight. Yeah,
I think you could kind of, you could see actors coming round the corners because it was dark, which
because it was light.
Because it was light. But that meant that you didn't have any kind of surprise factor to it at all when the scares did come. But it was good. Enjoyed it.
There's like little tunnels that the actors can move through as well, and you could see through them in the day. So it was like, I know you're coming. But saying that, the actors were brilliant, like they were in the entire park. They were all fabulous. I've not said that word for ages, but they were. And the theming was fantastic. But if you want it just for the scares, or are bothered about scares as well as theming, do it at night.
Yeah, I'd definitely recommend that if you're going to do any of the mazes at night, that's the one to do, because all the rest of them they're all inside.
It feels like buildings. It's night when you're inside the maze for the rest.
Yeah,
I'd say
it wouldn't make much difference doing them at day or night, but the welcoming, it makes a massive difference because the lighting in there.
Yeah. How about overall in terms of the park itself?
So outside, to be honest, with Alton Towers, the majority of the kind of they've kept all of the really scary stuff inside those 4 mazes that we just talked about. That they are kind of going for a more family-friendly feel around the park.
You can understand that with CVV's Land. There's lots of people there with younger children, and I don't think having that environment for younger kids and then trying to cater to the adults that want the scares as well, I don't think it'd be a good mix.
Yeah.
I wish they did, because I wanted to see more scare zones, but I can understand why they haven't.
Yeah, whereas I think in terms of Merlin's parks here in the UK, they've gone more for that kind of thing. At Thorpe Park, they're recommending that no children under 13 enter the park at all.
Yeah.
Because the whole park is a scare zone basically. There will be actors roaming around the entire park on top of the scare mazes as well.
Yeah, so I'm not going to get arrested anywhere. Yeah. I'm going to hide in KFC.
Might be a scary chicken.
Ah.
But yeah, there were still some, not scares, but there were some roaming actors around Alton Towers.
What's the first? Was it the Alton Ancestors?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really well. What's the word? Costumed, but costumed isn't a word.
Yeah.
They looked really cool.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're supposed to be like ghosts, I guess. Ghosts of the towers, and that they were. As you walked into the Alton Towers in the morning, they were on Tower Street, the main street as you walk in. And I believe they moved around the park a little bit. I think they were around in Mutiny Bay for a little bit.
They're also very interactive with the crowds as well.
Yeah.
I noticed. They will come and like interact with you or your children. They're very good at that.
Yeah. But they were really good. They were really well dressed, really well made up and everything. We didn't see these, but there were some ghost pirates as well. The pirates of Mutiny Bay. I believe they were in Mutiny Bay at some points throughout the day, but we didn't see them because we weren't around the park that area of the park at the right time. There's Galactica Airways. Again, we didn't see those either.
I don't know what that
is. They are apparently hanging around Galactica at certain points of the day.
Really? Galactica Airways?
Galactica. And the tagline from the park is that they're here to help you whether you like it or not.
Alright. Oh, I remember that tagline.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're kind of like a really over the top hostess kind of thing going on. Yeah. So, but we didn't get to experience them ourselves, so I can't really comment on what they were like.
We did, however, see like some roaming clown / freak show.
They were from, I believe, they had a maze last year called the Freak Zone.
Right.
And some of the characters from the Freak Zone are now free roaming around the park. That is later on in the day, after younger children would have probably left the park.
I don't know if that's right though, because I've seen videos and pictures since of them on Tower Street in the day.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% sure on that. But
we only saw them after they went dark, didn't we?
Yeah, we only saw them after it went dark. But they're in a little buggy and it's like 2 or 3 clowns.
Yeah.
And they've got weapons. Pretend weapons.
Yeah, and they're not super duper scary. They're not the creepiest creepy clowns you've ever seen.
A lot of the kids were laughing, to be fair, the kids that were around. But yeah, there's not a lot of scare actors, but they're probably the ones maybe avoid if you've got younger children.
Yeah,
you can see them from miles away because they are really bright.
Yeah, you can't. You're not going to miss them coming.
Yeah.
They're in a giant, not giant, but they're in a buggy, playing tunes and making announcements on a megaphone kind of thing.
Yeah.
They've also got there's a stage in the courtyard where the Woodcutters Bar and Grill and the fountain is, and that's they're playing songs there. They've got kind of family-friendly Halloween activities with family-friendly characters.
Dr. Vic's karaoke party and the Freaky Funk Squad, according to the map. That's what they were.
So they had events on at various times throughout the day. They'd be absolutely fine for most age groups, I think.
Including me, I was dancing away.
Stevie was dancing away to the songs. And
I thought it was awesome. It was well good.
There is also a more kid-friendly maze, which is recommended for ages 8 and up, which is the House of Monsters.
And that's in Cloud Cuckoo Land as well.
Yeah, that's only a 3-pumpkin maze, that one. Whereas the lowest of the adult mazes is all of them apart from subspecies are 5 pumpkins, and subspecies is 6 pumpkins.
It's worth keeping in mind as well, by the looks of it here, like the free mazes, so Project 42, Altonville Mines and subspecies, all only open at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so you won't get on them get through them any earlier than that. And they all close at 9, which I think is when the park actually closes, isn't it?
Yeah, the park's on a 9 PM close.
The Welcoming only opens at 5:30, and that closes at 9:30.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe you can queue for that a bit later. I'm not sure. I don't know how that works. And the House of Monsters, so the kiddie maze, is open at 12, but that closes at 7:30. So that's a bit of an earlier close for the young ones.
Yeah. But yeah, it's we know a few people who've gone through there. I think the Despicable 3 went through with Jimmy. They did,
yeah. They did do a vlog on it as well, so it might be worth, if you've got younger children, going and watching their vlog and getting an idea from Jimmy's point of view. Is Jimmy 7? I think Jimmy's 7.
Yeah.
So that might give you a bit more of an idea of what to expect.
Absolutely. But that's about it in terms of what's on offer at Scarefest. Obviously, another big draw is the fact that you can ride your favourite rides in the dark.
Which is amazing.
It's not very often that Alton Towers stays open as late as that. It was a 9 PM close, but that's when the queues close. So if you get in a long queue at 9 o'clock, it could be significantly later than that.
Yeah.
I know the queue for Wicker Man at around 9 o'clock was still around 80 or 90 minutes. So that means it's going to be 10:30 before the last people in that queue actually get to ride Wicker Man.
Yeah.
It's definitely kind of it's worth bearing that in mind and planning your route around the park to whatever ride you want to do last. Getting the queue kind of 5 to 9, 1 minute to 9 even, because it's 9 o'clock. They shut the gate on the queue. Nobody else can come in. But if you're in that queue, subject to the ride not breaking down or anything like that, you will get a ride as long as you're in the queue. You're getting a ride on that. And we did that, although we did have some fast passes to use for Wicker Man. Even with fast passes, last ride of the day, it was still kind of like 30 minutes or so we waited for Wicker Man. So it was about 9:30 when we got on the ride, something like that. But Wicker Man in the dark is absolutely fantastic.
Highly recommended.
That is, to be honest, I think Wicker Man in the dark is probably the best ride experience in the UK. I would say.
I'd agree. I love Wicker Man, so Wicker Man's the best for me anyway. So in the dark, it's just a big bonus.
Yeah, I mean there are. It's still not my favourite roller coaster in the UK, just as a roller coaster on its own. But as an overall ride experience with the theming and the flames and everything, it just looks absolutely fantastic at night. I'd recommend going to Scarefest, or the fireworks as well. Just to ride Wicker Man in the dark is that good.
I can't wait to do it again.
Hopefully we're debating doing another Scarefest trip, we think. And we're definitely there for the very last day of the season, which should be good as well. Can't wait.
I would say as well that 13's pretty impressive in the dark.
Yeah, that's a good shout actually.
Because you can't see a thing, because obviously it's the dark forest. It's very dark.
Yeah, you just kind of you're winding through trees and you can't see. The track is black.
Yeah.
And it's dark.
You can't see anything.
You can't see anything. There's no light on the front of the train or anything like that. Especially when at the bottom of the first drop on 13, the camera flashes. So you've just got loads of flash bulbs in your eyes, and then suddenly you're back in a load of dark trees, and you just cannot see where you're going at all. You're just suddenly you're just weaving around. Really great fun, and then obviously you go in, and there's the drop track element in there. That's the next time that you can see anything that's going on 13. But it was a lot of fun. That
is definitely one I'd 100% recommend in the dark. I think those 2 rides in the dark are amazing. Everything else was great as well, but like Smile and Oblivion are a bit more lit up with the lighting around them, but they're still really fun in the dark.
Yeah, both fantastic.
Yeah.
The lighting around the park when it went dark was absolutely amazing. It added a really fantastic extra element to the park. It just looked amazing.
You did. I can't wait to go to the park in the dark again, because I know we're doing it before Park tomorrow, and I can't wait. It's just a completely different environment in the dark. I felt quite cool and like all grown up. And like, oh, I'm out on a night, I'm not in my pyjamas. Yeah, having a party.
She's not out at night very often.
I was well happy.
Yeah, Stevie's very much like a home bird. She likes
a hermit.
Yeah, she likes. She likes being in her pyjamas and sitting in her comfies and being cosy on the couch, and less so walking around theme parks at like weird times at night.
No, I really like that.
And she really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't do it very often. Although to be fair, the theme parks aren't open very often until night.
The last time we did it before Alton Towers was probably Disney.
Yeah. I mean, it's the obviously Thought Parks had the late night openings in the summer this year. But otherwise, the only time that you'll get to go in the UK theme park and Blackpool Pleasure Beach as well has had late night openings kind of once a month in most cases throughout the year. But for the most part, these Halloween events are your main opportunity to get in the park after dark and get those dark rides.
Or fireworks nights.
Yes, fireworks nights as well.
I think that's just about everything.
Yes, we've been talking for long enough, I think. Hopefully it's been a useful video for you.
There is loads more stuff, like in terms of things for the children, things for younger children on this map. We don't want to sit here and talk through it. I imagine it's on the website.
Yeah, absolutely. First point of call, always the Alton Towers website if you're looking for information.
Because we don't want to just sit here talking at you for ages and ages. It's already been too long.
Yeah.
But go on the website. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Let us know and we'll try our best to answer. Yeah.
Well, with that, thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's been useful. If you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button to follow our adventures.
And if you're going to Scarefest, enjoy.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Bye.